Module 2.6, common errors. Errors are going to occur. They're going to come up. You're going to find issues coming up either through Merge Center, through your data feed, through any other, through AdWords or whatever. But there's a couple errors that I see regularly. After looking at many accounts, managing, several client accounts, there's certain things that come up that can cause you a lot of headache. The first three are relating to Google Merge Center. So products do not meet Google product specifications. So the product specifications is probably the biggest issue that you'll face. Google requires their product data a certain way. That the Shopify app looks at those specifications and tries to find those for you before you send that product to Google Merch Center. But in some cases, products will get through Shopify and go into Merch Center and still not have the correct specification. So it is important to look at both the Google Shopping Shopify app and Google Merch Center to see where your products may not be meeting those specs. I realize that it takes a lot of time to find those specs and go through each product and adjust each product, but it's required. So you just really take it one by one, go through each issue on its own, and read the specifications link that I sent earlier, and make sure you understand that. So really, really important for you to understand that page and those requirements. So next is missing Google product categories. That's, it seems like that's an easy spec to know, but a lot of people have trouble with that. It's, Google wants their products categories, a lot like Amazon. So it's, and it's less important than Amazon. If you're an Amazon seller, it is less important, but you at least have to have something there. You have to have even the high level or one of the parent categories on the product, so Google knows, okay, is this apparel? Is it a home and garden? Is it one of the other categories? So make sure you add that Google product category. Shipping and taxes, super important. So many people don't set that up correctly, miss it, change shipping or change tax settings within Shopify, and then they're going through and completely getting their feed disapproved and suspended. So very important to have those shipping and taxes set up correctly from the start. Okay, so next is AdWords. So for common errors on AdWords, really it's about the auto tagging. That's a big deal. I'll get calls from people who say, oh, I'm not sure if my conversion tracking to AdWords is correct. I'm not sure if I'm getting the performance I should. And so I go over to Google Analytics and look, there's no data in Google Analytics. Their auto tagging was never set up or enabled, so I can't see in Google Analytics anything about that traffic, where it's coming from, what the performance is. Is there bounce rate high? Is the pages per session low? You don't see any of that. So you have to set up this auto tagging so you can see all of your data from AdWords in Google Analytics. Google Analytics is going to give you more data, and so you want that enabled. So next is the accounts not linked correctly. It seems like a simple one, and in this example, I used the same email address for all the accounts, so they link very easily. However, if you have an email address that's different for analytics or different for Shopify, or have multiple email addresses, maybe have multiple AdWords accounts, linking everything together, you can easily make a mistake. I saw one client that had their AdWords account linked to the wrong Google Analytics account. They were linking. I saw another client that had a Merge Center account that was linked to the wrong AdWords account. So just very important to link those correctly, especially if you're using different email addresses for different accounts. So next is Shopify. So I can't tell you how many people forget to set up their return policy and terms and condition. It's super simple. In fact, Shopify, as you're going through the Shopify the store setup process, they literally have a generic return policy, generic terms and condition, generic privacy policy button right in there. So it's very simple to set up. But you have to have that return policy and terms and conditions in order for you to meet Google Shopping requirements. So Google will go to your site, look for that, place an item in the cart, check to see you have the return policy. So you absolutely have to have 1 and 2 done. Also, the contact information. So contact info is a little bit of gray area. I've heard Google say that they want an address. I've heard them say, oh, an email is fine or phone number is fine. But generally, what I recommend is having a contact us page with the traditional contact form where someone can type stuff in and hit submit, but also putting some key information like an email address, a phone number, an address, or something. Um, it's just important to have something there so Google knows you're a real place, real company. Like I said, I have had one client get suspended because, and again, a lot of these suspensions are just temporary. You add back the information and you get approved right away. But they did get suspended because Google said they did not have an address. I've seen other people run ads without an address. So I would just say have something there, have something meaningful on your contact us page. So that's really it. That's really it for common errors. All right, so that concludes Module 2. So that's everything in Module 2, and hopefully your account is now set up. Your AdWords account set up, your Google Merchant Center account set up, your data feed set up. Hopefully now everything is set up and you're ready to go. Like I said, at this point, it could take anywhere from 24 to 40 hours to get those products into Google AdWords, because again, those products go from your Shopify store into Google Merchant Center, which takes a little bit of time. Then they go from Google Merchant Center to Google AdWords. So, give it a little bit of time, give it 24 to 40 hours. If it's more than 72, there's probably an issue. But hopefully now everything's set up. You're ready to go for Module 3. Again, if you have any questions, just email me, Kurt@eastondigital.com, and look forward to starting Module 3. Thanks.